Hi, it's Hope and welcome to the video. This is going to be January 2021 releases that I'm excited for. I have 8 books on this list. Just because a book isn't on this list doesn't mean that I'm not excited for it. It just means that I haven't heard of it, or I didn't realize it was released in January, or various reasons. These are just 8 books that I have on my radar, which actually 4 of these I have arcs, all 4 that I haven't read, and like some of these are like the very beginning of January, so they're like my next reads. But let's get started with Blood and Honor by Miranda, and this book I have an arc of. It comes out January 4th, and I'm just gonna read the description because it seems very interesting. It is a I believe it's a new adult fantasy. Yes, a new adult high fantasy. It's Miranda Lynn's debut, and I will try to read this and try to not stumble upon my words. But in the land of Fae, you are either the hunter or the hunted. Aura, a high fae in the court of Marsh, was trained since birth to kill. When it comes down to it, can she sever the tendrils of her morality and do it? After being taken prisoner by the Sea Queen, she manages to escape, riddled with questions, only to arrive home to absolute heartbreak. Discovering everything she knew to be a lie, she sets out on a dangerous journey to learn the truth of her upbringing. But when the hunters begin to come for her, she realizes she isn't the only one that will need her lethal skills. Meanwhile, Kemmerer, a lesser fae in the vicious court of wind, hates no one more than himself. Gifted with the magic of healing and therefore protected from the prejudices befallen the rest of the lesser fae, he is smothered beneath the firm hand of the northern king. But when he makes a discovery that could change the world, he must decide, produce the serum, and convince the one that he is falling in love to run away with him and his beloved mentor, or let fear suppress him into defeat. One high fae, one lesser fae, one goal, find the way back. For fans of adventure, battle-toughened fae, budding romance, and glory-destined heroines comes the first novel in the Fae Rising trilogy. If you like authors like Holly Black and Sarah J. Maas, you won't want to miss the beginning of this thrilling adventure. That sounds very interesting. I was able to get on the ARC team for this. I've had a copy for months and I just haven't been able to read it, but I want to read it so bad. I plan on reading it in 2020 here. If not, it'll be like one of my first reads of 2021. The next book is The Quantum Weirdness of the Almost Kiss by Amy Noelle Parks. And this we have a girl named Evie who has never really been interested in dating. She's kind of anxious and is more into school than dating. But with the help of her therapist, she starts to kind of grow out of her shell and possibly start dating. Her best friend Caleb is a bit jealous because he's in love with her. She doesn't know, and it's that like best friends in love with the other best friend romance that's like a trope that I love. And it is just a cute young adult contemporary romance. That's all I have to say about this. Next we have Crown of Bones by A.K. Wilder. I also have an arc of this. And both The Quantum Weirdness of the Almost Kiss and Crown of Bones come out January 5th. I'm going to quickly read the description for Crown of Bones because it is very short. Raise your phantom. In a world on the brink of the next great dying, no amount of training can prepare us for what is to come. A young heir will raise the most powerful phantom in all of Bastiion, a dangerous high Savat will do anything to control the realms. A mysterious and deadly Mar race will steal children into the sea. and a handsome guide with far too many secrets will make me fall in love. My name is Ash, a lowly scribe meant to observe and record, and yet I think I'm destined to change us all. So we have this character named Ash who's destined to save it all. I don't have much more to say. I'm really excited. On January 12th, we have Across the Green Grass Field by Seanan McGuire, and this is the 6th book in the Wayward series, like the Wayward Children novella series. All of them are like standalones, and this we follow a girl named Regan who, and that's like all I know, and that's all I want to know. I have read 3 of the 5 books currently published, and I plan on reading the 4th and the 5th and then the 6th in 2021. I don't know when I plan on reading Across the Green Grass Fields. Probably not in January because I'd have to read the other 2 books, but sometime in 2021, hopefully. Next we have Every Single Lie by Rachel Vincent, and this is a young adult. It's labeled on Goodreads as like a contemporary and a thriller, but probably like a contemporary, a borderline thriller, where we follow a high school girl named Beckett, who her life just kind of keeps on telling her story wrong, and like her boyfriend keeps on hiding secrets from her, and she thinks he's cheating. The cause of her dad's death is different from what she was told, and everyone at school seems whispering secrets about her and her family behind her back. But the cherry on top is that when she ends up finding a body of a newborn baby in her boyfriend's gym bag, everyone in the school thinks it's hers when it's not, and it goes from there. It seems really interesting because my question is, how did the baby end up in her boyfriend's gym bag? It's like the big thing, but I'm excited to read this. I'm usually not one for thrillers. I think I only read 2 thrillers in 2020, so I don't know how I'll like this, but the 2 thrillers that I did read, I did love, so hopefully I like this one. Next we have the Famoux. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Famoux, the Famoux, where basically we are in this, out of the wreckage of environmental collapse, the country of Delicanta emerged. Its most popular celebrities are the Famoux, uniquely beautiful stars of a reality TV show called The Fishbowl. In a world still recovering from the catastrophe, they provide a 24/7 distraction, and our main character of Emily is offered to join the show, which she does. She's a huge fan of the show, but when she joins the show, she realizes that everything is kind of different than it seems. And this one, I don't know what intrigues me exactly. I don't know why. I think it's the cover. The cover is pretty. This was originally a Wattpad story, so that kind of right there kind of is like, okay, like published Wattpad stories can be hit or miss, but I have an arc of this. This comes out on the 19th. I have an arc of this through both Eldoes and NetGalley. I was able to work on both of those, so I need to get those, read this and get those reviews up, but I am excited to read this. It seems like it will be like honestly like a quick read because of it being like, it's like that, like, oh, it's like a reality TV show, but like dystopian style, like, I don't know. I hope I'll like it. Next we have the House of Bastion by K.L. Kolarich. And this I also have an arc of. This also comes out on January 19th. It is many years after this, centuries after the Forgotten War ravaged the world and turned into ash. There are these 4 houses that like forged an accord with the royal line, and there are these like advisors of the throne, one from each of these like houses, and then each generation a single person from each house is like chosen as this like person that kind of says stuff about the countries. And we follow Lucia, who is given one of these chairs, and she quickly discovers that the like everything is darker, much more darker and sinister than she believes. This is a like high fantasy. It is a debut, and it seems like it might be interesting. Like if you go and read the whole thing, like the whole description, it sounds very interesting. Like a tagline is, "Behind the mask of duty and power, no one is who they seem." So it's like this fantasy, and I'm excited to read it. What I've heard from people that have already read it and reviewed it, that it is pretty good, so I am excited to pick it up. The book I'm most excited about in January is A Vow So Bold and Deadly by Brigid Kemmerer. A Vow So Bold and Deadly is the 3rd and final book in the Cursebreaker trilogy, the first book being A Curse So Dark and Lonely, the second book being A Heart So Fierce and Broken, and then now the 3rd book being A Vow So Bold and Deadly. I know nothing about A Vow So Bold and Deadly, except it will pick up where we end off in A Heart So Fierce and Broken, and there will be 4 point of views, being the 4 point of views that we've seen in the first 2 books. That is all I know. I don't want to say anything else because it's the 3rd book, and everything that I do know would spoil the ending of the 2nd book, but I am very excited to see where this finishes. My favorite in the series so far is the 2nd one, so I'm excited to see if the 3rd one will be my favorite. So yeah, I'll just have to see. So those were 8 books that I'm excited to read in January. All the links to these books will be in the description. But I hope you enjoy this video, and bye!